All right, guys. So one of the questions I get often is, is it a good idea to borrow money to be able to, afford more inventory up front, or if the extended cash flow cycle of the Amazon FBA business, which is kind of an inherent part of it, is kind of tying up your capital in the short term. Sometimes people are, going to be looking at other options to try to borrow money to be able to expand and scale faster. And so I personally am a big fan of borrowing money. I think that once you have the confidence to make this work, there's no reason to let the money just kind of rot in your bank account. And if you have identified products that you know are going to be winners but just can't afford it, then I absolutely, 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 definitely recommend borrowing money. And so I've personally used these four sources when I was actually starting up. Credit cards are obviously the easiest way. If you have access to, 0% APR credit cards, which are available in the USA pretty easily through Chase and through a lot of different means, definitely go that path. It's the easiest. You can usually build credit card points, and you don't really have to apply for any loans. And with a 0% APR, then you're obviously not paying any interest. I've used Amazon Lending, Kabbage, Kickstarter, and Indiegogo. If you're gonna, try to launch a product with other people's money, that's always the best way to do it. It just takes a little bit more effort, and you have to kind of know how to use those platforms. Um, so most of the general requirements are the same when you're trying to secure a business loan from the uh, issuers that I was just discussing, right? So at least 3 months in business, sometimes 1 year, 10,000 or more in revenue per month, a credit score above 600, no tax liens, right? 3 months of bank statements, your driver's license, kind of just stuff to identify your identity and make sure that you're not like a huge risk to lend money to. um, as far as actual rates go, PayPal had the best out of the three that I actually looked at. Obviously, 0% APR credit cards would be the best because they'd have a 0% interest rate, sometimes for 15, sometimes even 22 months. I've seen those. So if you can go that path, definitely take it. But if you don't have access to the credit cards, then PayPal has an 11.6% interest rate. So this is definitely something that I think anybody who has the drive, wants to scale quickly, but just doesn't necessarily have access to the capital, I definitely recommend this to everyone. Just make sure that you're doing it in a way that you can afford and that you have a plan to pay it back in a timely fashion. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Let's move on to the next.